Good morning everybody, it's Helen here. It's Monday the 16th of June 2025. This morning I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about being fully aligned. Do you know if you're fully aligned? But what I mean by that, well, I'll explain it. So I want you to ask yourself a question. Have things been going right for you lately, or over recent months, over recent years, or has everything been seemed to be up and down? Are you in a job that things keep going wrong, or maybe in your personal circumstances things just might keep going wrong? It's making you feel awful. If you're in a job, you're trying your very best, but things just don't seem to be going right for you, and that tends to make you feel quite small. It throws your confidence. It might create difficulties within relationships in your work or your home or whatever circumstances, and it may also create a very unhappy relationship with yourself. The reason I'm talking about this is because I know you might be fully aware of this, you might not be, it doesn't matter, but we are in times whereby energy is probably one of the most important subjects of our day. You may have come across people in the past who've talked about being an energy healer, and you might have thought, oh yeah, I used to work in an environment, in a health environment, so to speak, that when people talked about being energy healers or working with energy, they would sort of get sneaky comments behind the back laughing at them, but everything is absolute energy. I mentioned this the other day. To my phone, my computer, my desk, my curtains, the walls, my home, the dirt outside, even the tarmac, the buildings, everything is absolutely energy. Nothing could exist if it wasn't energy. So if you imagine a lamp in your own house, what is a lamp's function? A lamp's function is to shine light. If it does not have a power supply, it cannot shine its light, and you are very much the same as that. If it doesn't have a power supply, it's not connected up to the electricity supply or whatever battery operated system you might be using, you may as well call it just an ornament, because it's not doing what it was designed to do. So we in ourselves, if we don't have a life force running through us, if our energy isn't powered up, you may as well call, this body as just being it's a physical vessel. I see it as a physical vessel in order for our life force, our soul force, our energy to be able to experience life on earth. We are human second, soul first. However you want to call, or whatever you want to imagine or think of or believe as your soul essence, your life force. So why I'm talking about this is because we are in times whereby Earth is changing. It's not just Earth, it's planetary cosmic changes. There's a shift in energetic vibration. So if you imagine a dog whistle, most humans, I would say, cannot hear a dog whistle. That is because it's sound that's at a much higher vibrational frequency. It's a vibration of which humans on the whole cannot pick up on. However, there are energies on the planet coming through cosmically, whereby our frequencies are rising and we are changing. We are being catapulted, should I say, into a new way of existence. Our bodies are becoming lighter bodies. They have been quite dense. You may have come across the term 3D, three-dimensional. It's not just about going and seeing a film in 3D. It's about the vibrational frequency. So it's the speed at which energy travels. I'll just show you this. So if you imagine, whoops, that's gone. If you imagine sound waves traveling along, this is the frequency at which, or the speed, can't show you. This is the speed at which those sound or this energy travels. Some might be faster than that. It's not a true representation, but you can see there's more waves, okay, in that segment. Some might be slower. I would say that this slower wave, so there are less waves, this slower wave is possibly a depiction, more of a depiction as to how we humans have been existing for decades, for centuries, for eons. But we are shifting to become, the energy that's running through us becomes much faster. The problem is, so here's a little picture I did earlier. So these two very, what's the word, out of proportion people. If you imagine that this person here in the brown is your physical body, and the energy in the physical body has been operating at quite a slow speed. However, this is your soul, your life essence. This is just an explanation to try and help people get their heads around it. This is your life force, your soul essence, of which has a much higher frequency. The energy of your soul or life force is much faster and sits within here. So can you see that if we were to overlap the two, if your soul essence sits completely within your physical body, if we are to overlap the two, you're going to get, I'll just show you this, a bit of a mismatch. It looks a bit messy, doesn't it? You're going to get a mismatch. It's almost like these two vibrations are fighting against one another. What we are aiming to do is to get the speed of the body energy, your vibrational frequency, more in alignment to this one, to match it. So if you equate this to what's in your life now, if you in your human form, your physical vessel, this vehicle is still operating on a level, still doing things, still trying to do things the old way, doing a job that you've known for years, but you know your heart's not really in it anymore. You may be making mistakes, it's making you sad, it's making you upset. Then your soul essence is operating at a different level. You're going to make mistakes because you're not in harmony with your life force. You're not in harmony with your true soul essence. So what you have to do is what's best to do is to become more self-aware. Work on yourself as this body we tend to call the ego self. It's not about being egotistical, showy off. It can be. It's more about just a name for a representation. We have to clear out some of the old energies, let go of some of our old ways, adopt new ways so that we can become more in sync with our soul essence, so that the two, not very good, the two become a bit more in sync with one another, so it's more smoothly operating. This is what's happening at the planet, that we've got people who have been doing what we call the inner work, working on their wounds, their triggers, getting to know their true selves, healing a lot of the conditioning, letting go of the conditioning. You know, we've all gone through this sort of sausage maker of what you might call an educational system. Your natural abilities maybe have never been picked up on. You enter a school system that decides basically, or emphasises, what you learn, how you're going to work. You come out at the end of it, we're all looking a little bit like one another in terms of what we do, unless you're somebody who actually rebels against the system. And in the past, those have been the ones that have had a black mark put against them. So this is what we are aiming to now. So what I would say to you is, if your life is looking a little bit undulating, uncomfortable, you're not enjoying your job, you're making mistakes, so there's all sorts of things going wrong. It might even be that you've got things in your own home, machines that are breaking down. I would say it's because that there's a change in the overall energetic frequency of the planet that's affecting absolutely everything that lives on it and in it. And if we do not, as human beings, tune in and realign our systems so that we become more in sync, more aligned with what our true soul essence is, or its energy, we are going to really, really struggle. So if you're that person who knows that things have been pretty bad for quite some time, or if you're just wondering why on earth does everything seem to be going wrong, this might be at the root of it. And so this is what it is about, being fully aligned. So this is about also, what's in your heart. People have talked for eons or ages about living, working from the heart. Many of us have got disconnected from our hearts because we've trained to be or do something that's not really or truly is. We've maybe squashed ourselves into a job because we've got certain gifts and talents that, can be used in there. But who are you naturally? What's your natural state of being? What do you love to do? It might be something you've never even considered. You just do it and you take it for granted. It might be something like writing. It might be something like listening to people. And so here we are now in times whereby we are being asked, strongly encouraged to go inwards, look at ourselves, release some of this stuff that's not us, release some of the heaviness. Can you see this is verging on more of a flat line? If you were strapped up to a hospital monitor, you would be verging on flatlining, and we know what flatlining means. It means there's not a great deal of life left in it or in you. Whereas this, can you see how highly vibrational this is? This is what we're aiming to achieve. And this is about being fully or getting more aligned with your true soul essence. But part of that, there's a bit of a trick to it, a caveat maybe, in that we have to let go of what's not truly us. Trusting in where we're being drawn, gaining confidence in that more authentic version of ourselves. And following, and eventually, ultimately, following what's in your heart. It's about allowing the heart to lead the way. We've been very much logically based. We're sort of trying to get so that we're balancing between the two. I don't think, at least not in the moment, we can't let go of total use of logic. We still need that to operate in our day-to-day lives, but it's the heart that leads you, and the gut instinct. Can we get back to that? Yes, we can, in the words of Bob the Builder. So it's about your house, your vessel. There's a little bit of deconstruction or deconstructing on energetic level that needs to go on for you to be able to build a new house, create a new version of yourself, energetically wise, so that your soul essence, your soul, your life force, your energy essence feels happy to sit back, come back into the body, and not work from or not operate from a level of fight or flight anymore. Hope that helps. Hope it makes sense. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye.